I'm waiting for the gas inspection people to arrive. And instead of being stuck in wait mode, we've gone outside to the garden and we're taking the dogs out, kicking around the giant tennis balls, for lack of a better word. I mean, they're very fucking deflated at this point, let's be honest. But they're still very happy about it. Very pleased, aren't you? He's eating treats. Cares more about those than just giant tennis ball generally. We're all chilling in the sunlight. It's really very... I mean, that's the thing, it's really beautiful, it's very nice, and the sunlight feels great. And I can't help but feel like I should feel more than this. Or I shouldn't feel... I mean, I know should is a stupid way to view it. It's on my mind how I'm out here, I'm playing with my dogs. Their little faces are so cute. They're very happy. The sunlight feels gorgeous. You know, there are the makings of a wonderful day, and it doesn't stop me from feeling like crushed by the weight of depression. It doesn't stop me from having intrusive thoughts and memories about our entire life. And there's something so alienating and depressing about that. I feel like a ghost in the sunlight. Like I'm not experiencing the same sunlight that everyone else out here is. Not that I can see anyone fucking miles, which is just the way I like it, but... You're happy. You're happy. And you. That makes it sort of worth it. Have some purpose. If you drop it, I can throw it, but you do have to actually drop it. She doesn't think that's good. No drop, only throw. I am so exhausted. Happy dog. Happy dog. Today I've been getting random memories of childhood. Specifically of me and me. Of moments where I noticed growing up that we were different people, or moments that I knew. It's very confusing because it's like part of me in half of me always knew, and part of me that was the host in part of me just had moments of going, I feel like there's this presence, this vibe of this very specific kind of girl as I listen to this song, and then I angrily switch to a different song and I feel like there's this presence of this vibe of this totally different girl, like I could be them, but also it's more like they're in the room with me and I know what they feel like as a vibe, and it's like just moments of glimpsing that. Moments of being aware. And then it's like I have all three perspectives melding together, which makes the entire situation just more real. Lazy, get your ball, get it. I'm not kicking you hers, you didn't pick up yours. Lazy bastard. I'm thinking of these very specific songs as well. Like I've only just remembered that we used to listen to them. And going, oh yeah, I used to listen to that one. And I used to listen to that one. And they're very different. One's quite upbeat, positive. One is not something that like an 8 or 9 year old should have even been listening to. And that's depressing in and of itself, because I identified with it still, and I'm going, ah, yes, that is also part of the trauma and not the standard way that things should have been. It's weird to look back on something you understood and realise that you shouldn't have understood it. Plenty of that going on. It's strange as well because I've completely forgotten that CD and the times we just switched from one song to the other. They were like the only two songs in the world that I'd feel like myself. I guess they became trigger songs as well, so we could kind of trigger a switch. And we were kind of amorphous then as well. We were angry with one another. I wasn't angry. I was angry at myself, and I was upset that I was angry at myself. That's very difficult to talk about now and make any sense. It was a lot of fucking confusing. Half of me just furious at the other half of me who felt bad, like I'd done something wrong. I realise now, of course, neither part of me had done anything wrong. That's just abuse and trauma. I say just. Very, very, very fucking depressing. And strange because I remember those songs and it's like I've forgotten those even existed. And now trying to fuse getting closer to one another again, it's like I'm getting all these memories back of other times when we've been like that. Playing outside, not being able to agree on how we played or what we did. That feeling of moving around one another. But in those days, I think half of me wanted... I wouldn't have known it was called fusing or like what I wanted, but I knew that I wanted to be closer. I thought that I was so cool, and I really wanted to be like best friends, but even closer, to like be that person and to have them constantly with me. And that other half of me is very much not big on that. I'm just absolutely furious at the notion, kept us separate. And it all seems so personable, like such a conversation between people about personal preferences, and now I realise that it's defences born of trauma, because the reason I was furious was everything I hold, and that's the reason that I still sometimes feel wary about us being in the same shape. It feels wrong. Like, what's the point in me? The point in me was that she didn't have to hold that. And if we're both holding the same stuff, and even that way it's coming out as if it's... I mean, it is what I think and what I feel. But even that is just how the trauma is presenting itself to be, so that the brain can defend itself. And that's fucking wild. I know it looks really sunny out here, but it's actually fucking freezing because this is the UK and we don't know how to have a summer. This is sort of reconciling, I guess, between those two parts of me, those childhood fears of us being the same person. Being prepared to hold all of that in one. And then, yes, getting the memories, of course, of when we were in this shape before, when we were nearly in this shape, when we used to hang around each other, when we'd argue. in some ways a little bit behind me. There's this distant feeling like what I'm getting are the memories after we'd split of trying to work out what had happened, I think, and what had happened, and trying to refuse, and part of me going, no, that's awful. None of us really knowing what happened before that point. It's like, that's the only point I remember. Well, we were close to the same person, but no longer. And that's kind of the point we're at now. And what makes me feel a little apprehensive, although I accept that this is how it's going to be and that we'll be fine, I do feel a little apprehensive because I realise that before this point is the point we split at. The point when we were one person, and then the thing happened that made us split. And I feel like it's going to backtrack to there as well. So instead of just having the memories of just after we split and how we'd associate with one another and how we'd hang around and all of the stuff that's going on now in this form, I feel as we get closer and we become one person again, what I'm going to get is the memories of when we were one person before, and then the reason we're not, or weren't for so long. And I am very fucking far from okay with that, and I accept that, and I want that to be what happens, and I'm worth all of that. Completely aware that it's not going to be fucking fun. And this is maybe why I feel the depression, the daunting fucking dread of something some way lurking off over my shoulder that I'm sure I'm going to encounter, and yet the paradoxic knowledge that I need to not hold it at arm's length, but in fact completely accept and welcome it. Even the dread, every emotion that comes with it, or I'll keep us apart. I feel very grave, solemn. I'm waiting in line to see how I died. It's the price you pay for coming back to life, I guess. I'm gonna do my damnedest to enjoy this fucking sunlight and playing with the dogs in the garden, because I'm alive now. I think this is supposed to be the whole point of it. So whatever the fuck's lurking, I'll encounter it whenever we're ready to. I'm not gonna miss enjoying the sunlight just because of lurking dread. Look how happy they are. Pleased. With a sense of purpose.